So we're talking about the Garden City varsity against YJ Mitchell, which was a 2016 for tell me a little bit about that game. It looked like that was pretty close.
Yeah, that was another really competitive game. So GC they got the win by about 3 goals, and even though they were missing some of their players, they came in a little shorthanded. Like no Regan Backer, no Marina Rent, so no Archie Hafner. So they were missing a few players.
How
But
about Fennell wasn't there, was she?
yeah, Fennell was not there as well. No Ottamanelli, I believe. So they were shorthanded, but still able to get a win. Another game where I think you got to start with the goaltending. Neem Faf in the net, 52% save percentage, coming up with double-digit saves, and they kept YJ Mitchell scoreless in that second half. It was a 5-4 game at halftime, and they were able to shut them out in the second half. But between Faf in the net, Emily Romeo, just another one of those players that's really all over the field and in between the lines type of player for GC. Really
She's
made.
been starting on defense for them for a while.
Yeah, she's going to Binghamton, I believe.
She's Binghamton is killing Long Island.
Yeah. They got a lot of kids from Long Island in the 24 and 25 class.
A lot of high level kids. I mean, they're killing it. Good for them, man. Good for them. What anybody on YJ Mitchell stand out?
Yeah, for YJ Mitchell, Sarah Richard mentioned her name earlier for Bayport, but she had a couple goals in that first half. Madison Sussy in the GB department for YJ Torre Mitchell, I thought was kind of a difference maker as well. And they also got good goalie play between Bella Marciano and Haley Stratton. They split time in the net, but they kept them in that game. That game was definitely up for grabs. It's just they were unable to find the back of the net in the second half, which is what made the difference for Garden City.
Yeah, you got to score. At the end of the day, you got to score. Um, before we end this part of the Zoom, we can fill in and talk a little bit about which I thought this game surprised me a little bit. This was the Comsewogue Shoreham game. Tell me a little bit about what happened there.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. So Shoreham really put forth a dominant effort in that game. The first half was pretty competitive, and then they kind of just pulled away. I mean, how about the freshman Maddie Herr? Maddie Herr. I mean, we could talk about her all day.
Is that
But
the Lamborghini?
yeah, that's right. We settled on the Lamborghini as a nickname. I forgot
Maddie
about that.
Lamborghini her.
That's right.
She's
Yeah,
got gears. She's got gears. She's got 6 gears.
Yeah, Maddie Herr coming up with a hat trick in that game. Reese Marcario going to Pitt. She was 2 and 3 on the day. I thought really kind of set the tone for Shoreham in that one. They also got a couple goals from Grace Kitchen as well. Morgan Lisowitz with a few goals, but really just an offensive barrage by Shoreham as they were able to put up 16 goals in that game.
It's amazing. It's great for them. It's good to see. I think we could squeeze in this last game. This last game was a JV game, and this tested some of the better. Oh, just knocked over my computer. The better seventh graders from YJ Friedman on the island against the St. Anthony freshman crew. So this was, I guess, the first time these St. Anthony girls have really, some of them probably ever played together and even met each other probably because they haven't played a season yet there.
Right, and I think you could see it on the field, and I think that's what was the difference. Because St. Anthony's they're all just incoming freshmen, so they haven't taken the field together as a team. But I think ultimately just the age difference is what made the difference in this game. So like for St. Anthony's, Kira Steck, she had a hat trick in that game, which ultimately was a big difference maker. But I thought Liliana May on the draw circle, getting possessions for the Friars was important in that game because YJ Friedman, they were never really out of that game. They always gave themselves a fighting chance. Catherine Paul, she had a couple of assists for St. Anthony's, and Elena Ciaccio, she had 2 goals as well as Bo Davy for the Friars. So few of the Friar freshmen kind of filling up the box score, and making a difference in this one as they were able to get this win by 3 goals here. But
I'm looking for this young lady's name that I heard about that was on the YJ Friedman squad. Bear with me one second as I find it. Olivia Leopardi.
it's funny. I was going to ask you. I was going to say, is that who you're talking about? Or I was thinking about that, but I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, the St. Anthony coach told me that she's very, very good.
Yeah, Leopardi, she played very well. And again, it's a situation where it's tough going up against girls that are a couple years older than you. But I really thought that YJ Friedman team held their own. And I thought, again, the advantage for them was that they've been playing together now for, I'm sure, a handful of years. And that really kept them in the game. But Leopardi with a couple goals, also Sarah Pacey in the ground ball department with a few GBs. I thought Molly McNamara, she had an impact as well, the midi, but more so on the defensive end. Had a couple plays with some ground balls, had a really nice trail check that led to a turnover as well.
Yeah, it's interesting when you see these high level younger kids playing together on the club circuit, and when they play up, they tend to be able to hang because they're so cohesive.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we could squeeze in one more game before we got to, go to the next Zoom. This was a good game. This was the only tie of the day.
Yep, that's right.
St. Anthony 25s against the ESM Sharks, led by our friend Becky, who looked great. Becky Thorne, Coach Becky Thorne. What was that game like?
Yeah, that was a game where I think it definitely played into ESM's favor with it being low scoring. So it seemed like they might be able to come away with a win, but this one did in fact end in a tie. But really for ESM, offensively at least, Amanda Sweeney, she was really the one that kind of sparked that Sharks team with 4 goals to lead that team. And then in the net, of course, with Ashley Langdon, the Joker, in that first half, really kept them in that game from a defensive standpoint. Because St. Anthony's, we know, like, they can be so prolific offensively, but when you got a goalie like Ashley Langdon, you always have a chance. And she gave them a chance in that game when she had a save percentage of like over 70% in that first half.
Wow.
So I thought that that was really the difference, and that's what kind of kept ESM in that game, and that's why it kind of played to their favor, really because of Ashley Langdon in the net. But
who from SA played well.
Yeah, for St. Anthony's, once again, Madison Sussy, she had 4 goals in that game for the Friars, so she led the way for that team. And I thought, again, if you talk about doing it all on both ends of the field, Devin Lang, the Princeton commit.
Yeah, I tell you, she's a beast.
She's a really good athlete, and she's another one of those kids, like, she can just absolutely fly.
Yeah, that's a true two-way midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna be hearing a lot of good things about that kid. How they do defensively
for St. Anthony's?
Yeah.
Jess Black in the net. The goaltending on both sides is what kept that game pretty low scoring. But Jess Black in the net, the Army commit, she played the whole game, and I thought that was pivotal for St. Anthony's staying within reach.
All right, we're gonna get cut off right here, so we'll come back to do the last few games. We'll be back in a second. Thanks, guys.